Yikes. What's up, guys? Welcome back to it, Merengue Cule. Today we have a huge video. It's not just any video, it's the draw reaction video. We're gonna be seeing the quarterfinal draw, but not just that, also the draw for the semifinal, and so who we would essentially play in a potential semifinal, and then the final matchup. So it's all gonna happen today. We're gonna have the final tree to the Champions League final in Istanbul this year. And with that being said, make sure you like the button and let's get started. Alright guys, and before getting started talking a little bit about each club that made it through, I wanted to bring up this beautiful jersey. You guys already know, whatsoccer.com, you can go get your jerseys. This one happens to be a retro one. So you can not only get the current season's jersey, but you can also go back and get your favorite clubs, hopefully Real Madrid, previous season. So this one is from 1997. And there you go. It's a beautiful one with the famous Raúl in the back. This is one that I did not have, so I'm very excited to try this one on. Let's see it. Boom. And here we go, guys. A beautiful looking jersey. Whew. Make sure you go get your own jersey at whatsoccer.com and put the discount code EMC for 15% discount. With that being said, guys, let's continue on with the video as we're going over the 8 teams that have qualified to the next round. Starting off with Bayern Munich. Obviously, they had probably the toughest match and are one of the teams to probably avoid until the semifinals or finals. Here we have Benfica, who are one of the teams, aside from Napoli, that surprised me the most. The way that they played was honestly really phenomenal, and they have some young rising talent. And there's good old Chelsea that not always, but you know, most times seem to be having bad seasons in the Premier League, but are always maybe like this little dark horse in the Premier League. They always have a little something to be afraid about. Internazionale Milano, the first time that they make it back to these stages of the Champions League in so many years. And to be honest, I wasn't too surprised with how they played against, not surprised, but impressed by how they played against Porto. I felt like they should have beaten Porto by a little more, and in the end they were kind of struggling. Manchester City, we already know kind of how they work. They're always killing it till the final stages when they usually choke. Yet every single Champions League season, I'm like, all right, this is the year where they're finally gonna win it. So we'll see if this is finally their year. AC Milan, the other Milan team that once again hasn't been to these final stages of the Champions League in a long time. They're starting to play a lot better. They have players like Theo, Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid, or ex-Real Madrid players, and that have obviously been helping them out a lot. Napoli, I think this is the biggest dark horse of the Champions League because they're playing phenomenal football. They're having a fantastic season in the Serie A, and definitely probably one of the teams that we may want to avoid for now. You know, they're a pretty solid squad, so we'll see who they link up again. And at last but not least, Real Madrid, the current champions of Europe. Let's see who we end up coming up against. I think in La Liga we're having a pretty inconsistent season, but when it comes to the Champions League, the team just kind of turns around and becomes this monster that no one wants to play. So here we go, guys. Let's get started with the draw. All right, guys, it's finally time after doing the introductions of Hamid Altintop and Patrick Kluivert, ex-Madrid and ex-Barcelona players. It is now time. Here we have all the clubs that are participating. For Madrid, if I'm being completely honest, I'd rather avoid Bayern Munich and City. Aside from that, everyone else would be a pretty good matchup, and I'd rather meet against those other 2 clubs later down the road in the semifinals or in the final. But here we go. Let's see what happens. Here comes the first name, and it is Real Madrid. We're the first ones to come up, meaning we can come up against any of these teams. None of them have been drawn up yet. A wide variety. And Patrick Kluivert will give us the rival. Chelsea. Again. Oh my God. I think actually Courtois was saying this. After the game, they asked him who he wanted to come up against, and he said, "I'd rather just not play who Chelsea or Manchester City, who were the keep that we played last year. Keep it a little bit different." But here we go against Chelsea again in London. Elizabeth, we're gonna have to play again. Internazionale, okay? Who is Inter gonna come up against? Is it gonna be AC Milan? That would be a cracking game. Benfica, that's interesting. That's a really good matchup. I think the Portuguese teams will get a revenge against Inter. I could actually predict an upset and have Benfica going through. That's a really interesting matchup. Oof, right now we're setting up for a potential, possible City Bayern Munich, which would be the best thing in the world. Come on. Manchester City. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. We could either get AC Milan, Napoli, or Bayern Munich. Please be Bayern. Please be Bayern. Please be Bayern. Come on, Clivert. Give us a City Bayern game. Bayern! Bayern! Yes! That's huge, guys. That is huge. Finally, Pep Guardiola has to come up against a big team on his road to the final. He always gets all the easy teams until he finally got Madrid last year. And then the other one's going to be AC Milan against Napoli, which is fantastic. Another Italian match, and we're going to have an Italian team guaranteed in the semifinals. That's pretty cool. We now have all of them. The only question remaining is the bracket now. Who could Madrid potentially play in the semifinals if we were to go through? Here we go. Madrid is quarterfinal 1. This is big, guys. This is really big right here. Okay, so that's AC Milan or Napoli. AC Milan or Napoli, who would they play? We want Madrid to come up. Quarterfinal 1, come on. 2. Yikes. Wow, so we're gonna have possibly an Italian team in the final. Wow. Wow. And that means Madrid will have to play the winner of Bayern Munich or Manchester City in the semifinals. Oof. Or Chelsea, right? Obviously, but yikes. That side of the bracket is intense. Oof. Alright guys, we now know the full bracket, the full road to Istanbul 2023. I want to hear your opinions down in the comments. What do you think about Chelsea? Do you think that Madrid can go through? Do you think Madrid can make it all the way to the final? Do you think Madrid can win it all the way? Let me know down in the comments, and I want to hear your predictions for all the other quarterfinals so far. Without further ado, guys, tomorrow we'll be seeing y'all possibly for a Barcelona-Madrid preview in that El Clásico for La Liga. Make sure you guys go smash the like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell on if you haven't. And without further ado, I'll see you guys later. As always, a la Madrid.